your Doom City friendly monster coach D, and you are listening to the On the Way Up show only on Highly Unique Radio.
What's up, all my beautiful people? We are the On the Way Up show. I'm your girl, Takara Star. You know I'm coming from afar to bring you all of the good news, all of the blessings, and all the motivation you need today to get your morning started. But I'm not alone. I got the best co-host in the building with me. What's going on, brothers? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your Doom City friendly monster coach D. What it is, what it does. It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
What it do, Rich?
What's popping, coach?
I'm about to say, wake up, Rich. Wake up, wake up.
He ain't had no coffee this morning.
Nah, early juggling, you know the vibes.
And we know the vibe always.
Always. Matter of fact, did you sleep last night?
It's editing season. You know how we do, man. Night shift is being edited right now. Big shout out to my man Julian Booth. We putting it together. Big shout out to my man Malcolm. We got the new project Envy. We started casting yesterday also.
Yeah, I got, you know what, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I got to give you and Julian y'all flowers, man. You know, people, they want to present the flowers when the homies are far gone, right? Well, I want to give you your flowers while you're alive on the air. I watch you guys work under pressure. I've never seen anything like it. The way you guys shot Night Shift was amazing. And then during the shooting, we find out that the club was actually sold, right?
Yeah, they sold King of Diamonds officially yesterday. Yesterday officially did the paperwork and sold King of Diamonds the building for $9 million.
And they messed around and shortened your time in filming.
Yeah, but we
made it work, huh?
Made it work.
We don't play around.
Yeah, I love it.
I know that's right. It's giving Team No Sleep.
Team No Sleep.
Team
man.
No Sleep. All right.
Yeah. Big shout out to the whole cast though. Trey Chaney, Shay Johnson, the whole team, man. Our cast is amazing. This movie is about to be a game changer for South Florida.
I think so.
Yeah. I ain't
just having to be on set, seeing the things that I've saw. Couple cuties.
Yeah.
You know,
just a couple.
A couple cuties.
Whatever.
Shout out to Mecca.
I would say a couple eye candy.
I would say the movie was full of eye candy.
Yeah, shout out to Mecca and Neffy. Neffy is a Cardi B's cousin.
Yes.
First cousin.
Yes.
And she was a beautiful girl. She is a beautiful girl.
She was beautiful.
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah, she's hard.
I give her props.
And,
she reminded me of Cardi, just the whole demeanor.
Whole vibe.
Yeah.
Whole vibe. Just imagine Cardi B. She's Cardi B that don't her English. She do speak English, but her whole life is Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you see her on her gram and she run around Miami, it's all Latino vibes. You know, she's a Latin artist. She's a Latin singer. So it's crazy that's Cardi B's first cousin. I mean, Offset called us when we was on set. Cardi called us on set. So it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's definitely a vibe.
Yeah, man. So if be on the lookout. I think it's coming out March 2025,
yeah,
right?
March 2025. I have Ballin' dropping first. Ballin' dropping in February, and then Night Shift drop right behind it.
There you go. Only on Tubi.
Exclusively. Y'all heard that exclusively here, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Getting all that insider information.
And you know, Team No Sleep. I have Envy on its way. Starting pre-production of Envy, Perfect Road Trip on pre-production, and I just finished a script last week, and I just have my team proofread it. So there's a project I want to shoot in Vegas. It's called The Stalkers. It's a poker movie that I want to shoot in Vegas. So.
Well, you already know the Doom City friendly monster got his part on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to see you on the big screen.
For sure.
And speaking of the big screen, you guys, we have a special guest in the building. This man is an actor, a media mogul, a podcast owner, operator, clothing brand owner. Okay, can we say serial entrepreneur? And not just a serial entrepreneur, but a successful one. This man has made over 6 figures in his first year of working, but he didn't start there, you guys. He started homeless. He started at a place of experiencing what he felt the need to commit suicide. He's been Baker Act before in a psych ward. So I think this man knows what it is to be at the bottom and build yourself back up. So today, listeners, welcome to the On the Way Up show. We're going to talk about turning your power from pain, learning how to find purpose with our special guest today, Aron Richardson, a.k.a. Rich, is in the building.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's up,
Good
man? Welcome to
morning.
the On the Way Up show.
Thank you for the invite.
Hey,
I
man, it's
appreciate
good to
y'all.
have you. It's good to have you.
Absolutely.
My man Rich was popping, homie.
What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome.
nice,
I'm
man.
saying welcome like it's my show.
It's
Welcome
all
to
good.
the show. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good.
It's all good, man.
That means you're a podcaster at heart, right?
It's second nature. I can't help it.
Now, normally you're interviewing people. How does it feel to be in the guest seat today?
Today, I mean, I've been on a few podcasts before. I've been on some shows before, but it
Ever a
always
radio
feels-
show?
Yeah.
Okay,
actually, I've
get
been
it.
on a radio show before too, but it actually feels just. It's always like the first time when it's somebody different. If it's not the same person, I like to treat it like a first time experience, because the vibe is always different. So
Right. Welcome to the vibe.
Well-
thank you.
Well, one thing I can tell you, man, we're the radio vultures, so the vibe is always a vibe here.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
know.
it is.
That's how that works. The vibe
Absolutely.
is always a vibe.
And you in the hot seat today, brother.
Hey, let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the worst version of Charlemagne the God.
Let's do
Oh my
it.
God.
Let's
Oh
do
my
it.
goodness.
Oh my God. Oh
All
my
right?
God.
I ain't trying to get no donkey of the day today.
Not me. Not me.
Got you.
Well, with that being said, if you guys are tuning in from YouTube, thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe. We have a lot of good gems that are going to be dropped today. So get your paper, get your pen, and be ready to take notes.
Get
And
ready.
get ready. And when we come back, we got that inspiration with quote of the day.
You already know, man. You're listening to the On the Way Up show. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Welcome back, y'all. We are the On the Way Up show. I'm your girl, Takara Star, coming from afar with a special guest today. I think I listed off like 6 different titles, but I forgot to mention that you are also a mindset coach. And I think this is going to be amazing for this segment, which we call Quote of the Day, hosted by the one and only Friendly Monster.
Yes, you already know. It's the Doom City Friendly Monster, and I came ready today. I hope you guys are ready. All right? Today's quote of the day is, all you need is self-love. Once you value yourself, no obstacle is too big, and no criticism can break you.
Hey,
All right?
hey.
If you guys want me to repeat it in my preacher's
Come
voice,
on, one
I can
more again,
definitely
brother.
do
One
it.
more again.
All right, one
Go
more again.
ahead.
All right. All you need is self-love.
Well,
Once you value yourself, no obstacle is too big and no criticism can break you.
thank you.
All right. Now, let me introduce you, Rich, to cultural conversation.
Okay.
Now, what we do is we go around the round table and you give your thoughts of the quote of the day for today, all right?
But, brother, we're not in culture conversations.
Oh, I'm sorry. Quote of the day. Did I say cultural
Yeah,
conversation?
Yeah, you did.
Y'all be trying to take over my segment.
Just so y'all know,
be drinking.
that's my favorite segment of the show. So I'm excited to go into cultural conversation. But
I
yes,
am
you're
too.
right. That is quote of the day. And because you are our guest and you're in the hot seat, we're gonna give you the first. We're gonna pass the ball around to you first.
Okay.
All right. So what's your thought? What it is? What it does? Share it.
My thought about it at first thought is just, self-love is always being defined because it's hard to say I love myself right now when I don't even know the version of myself that I might be 1 year, 2, 5, 10 years from now. So self-love is just a feeling of being, a feeling of I might love myself right now, but who knows? I might go through some highs and lows. Everybody does it in life, and there's no guarantee towards it. And so self-love is always growing, always growth. That's what it gives me.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, what's up, Rich?
See, I wish you had your belt today.
Uh-oh.
Because that man would have had, that man.
You think he would have took my belt?
It's so far in his hand right now.
Man, I'm the vulture champion.
So, and that's a good to give you some background. So Coach D has a belt. He has a WDVE belt, right? And he passed that belt around during quote of the day. And usually he ends it back in his hand because he has a cheat code. But we aren't gonna talk about the cheat code. But so far you would have had that belt in your hand. Unfortunately, I would have taken it now.
Okay.
'Cause I believe that quote is about self-love is important. I agree, like what Rich said, that it's an ever-changing moment. Self-love is a thing that we do. We should have it, but there's a lot of people who don't have it, and that's why we see some people are traumatized and do all these kind of things to themselves to change their look. And we always pick on women about self-love, right? Because they do the most augmentation of their body due to the fact they have. Men in the world have the science to do so, but we as men have that same problem with self-love,
Facts.
right? LeBron James. No dig on LeBron, but he's the first one I noticed that really went left, cut out patch of his hair, publicly. Try to get his hairline back to for no avail because he got the hairline back and then they got the whole middle going.
Hey, stay off King James.
I'm just saying.
Man, my brother's getting ready to celebrate his birthday. Leave the man alone.
All he needed to do was just wear a crown. We would have good money with a crown. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, that we could tell those who have a problem with self-love because they do stuff to trying to change themselves. And I think if we take a moment just to enjoy who we are and understand the gift that we are given being us, the uniqueness of ourselves, we will do better. We'll get past trying to, be like Star or be like Coach. Just be you. Do you, your best ability, and win. And I think that's what self-love will definitely do to you. So I appreciate that.
I like it. I like that. Well, I'm going to go next, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the ball to Star because I know she about to slam dunk this and take us home.
I thought you said you was about to get it. I was like, oh, he must want to go last.
Oh, no. You know I don't move that way. Well, what self-love mean to me personally is just the acceptance of who you are. No one can ever love you more than you love yourself. And no one knows you more than you know yourself.
Facts.
So if I would ever had to give the younger me an advice, I would say always love who you are and put you first before anything. It's not being selfish. It's understanding that in order to make it through the hard times in life, you got to understand you are the first person who can lift you up. No one else can, right? And where do you get that strength from if you don't have self-love? So every day I tell myself, look, I love my wife. She means a lot to me. I love my kids. They mean a lot to me. I love God. All of us wake up in the morning and say our prayers. We love God, right? But at the end of the day, without self-love, you're dead. You're dead. There's no feelings. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So how can I tell my wife that I love you and I don't love me, right? It's kind of hard to do that. So that's what self-love mean to me is just pretty much putting yourself first and accepting you for who you are.
I love that. I think you would have got the belt today, brother.
Man, come on, man. I'm the heavyweight undisputed champion.
He wrote that before.
I don't know about undisputed.
Oh, so I'm cheating. So
you had a good
cheat
run
code,
today.
Right? Rich, there's a cheat code, huh?
It might be.
What's up, Star, man? What it is, what it does.
You know what? This really makes me think about a conversation I had earlier today with my sister, and you really hit it on the head when you said self-acceptance is basically equivalent to self-love. Because I was sharing with my sister that it's so important to understand the power of your story, to not be ashamed, feel guilty or down about your tests, your trials, and the things that you've been through because those are your testimonies, and those testimonies have value and enable you to serve others, So I think that when you tap into your self-love, when you can fully own everything about yourself, then you can really get into service. You understand that it's okay if you've been through domestic violence. It's okay if you've been homeless. It's okay if you were on drugs. You will not be afraid of criticism, as the quote says, because you know that there is power in the pain that you had, that pain enabled you to find your purpose and is pushing you to be passionate about life and to move forward with an attitude of servitude. I think that when you really tap into who you are, you can't help but want to serve others and understand that the things that you're going through and the things that you've been through are simply because you can help somebody else along the way that's having those same experiences. You're not afraid about where you are or where you've been at, because you know where you're going and you're secure in that. And ideally, you can take others with you. And I just want to encourage everybody to accept themselves for wherever they are today. And by doing so, you enable and allow other people the permission to do the same.
I like that.
Yeah.
She dropped the ball, man.
Cold.
Y'all
She just dropped the ball.
Said it.
Hey,
I
that
just
was the
dunked
quote
it.
of the day. Hey, you know what? I want to touch back on something that Rich said, and I thought, it means a lot. Rich mentioned that women do a lot of changes, to their physical appearance To me, I don't think it's not that they don't have self-love.
Yeah, I was gonna challenge that.
Yeah. I don't
But then
think,
you know what? We ain't worried about that criticism.
I think it's they love themselves enough to make the changes to make them love even more. In my opinion, right? It's to pick up their perception of themselves. Like me personally, for many years, a lot of folks said, "Yo, you got your wife." If I look at my wife's teeth, they're beautiful, right? But cost some pretty pennies. I could have done it too. But you know what? Like I said, self-love is based on acceptance, right? Since I was a child, my parents was like, "You need braces. You gotta close the gap," because my parents both have a gap. My mom's gap is huge. My dad's gap is huge. So of course, I came out with a huge gap, but I loved it and I embraced it since a child. And for me, I could have went and got the veneers.
Come on, J. Cole.
I could have done that. I could have been like Plies
Yeah,
and spent about 20 bands on a brand new teeth. Go visit what they call them, those doctors down there in Doral right now. Smiles. Yeah, that's where my wife went. Smiles, right? I could have went there as well, but I'm like, nah, man. I love me for this. This is who I am. And when I'm far gone from now, people gonna remember the smile and say, yo, he had a beautiful gap.
I'm gonna be so honest. I don't think I've consciously acknowledged your gap,
Oh,
and I
man.
think that's the power of owning it.
Yeah.
When you own it, it don't stop nothing. And that's what I was trying to say the other day. Like, if I'm not wearing lashes, I got nails on today, but I rarely wear nails. That ain't stopping nothing.
Yeah.
I own it, and that's what it is.
Facts.
And I agree with you. I think that we all have a vision of who we are and who our potential could be. And I think people are sometimes moving in that direction. It's not necessarily a lack of self-love. It could be having self-love that says, yeah, I'm going to get my teeth fixed. I'm going to, whatever. Like you said, I get my body in whatever way. I really don't have any knock towards anybody that does those things. It could be equivalent to somebody reading a book to change their mindset,
Right.
So getting a better job to increase your income.
I feel like it's even deeper than that too, because love, we got to think about it as like a spectrum, right? And so there's going to be good, there's going to be bad. We think about spirituality. Spirituality is also a spectrum. There's good, there's bad. And so when you think about love, if somebody's perception is an abusive kind of love, that's what love is to them in that moment. But love can also mean something to somebody else where it's like, I adore you. Whether, love can go through different changes. Eve made a whole song back in the day,
Right.
Love is Blind.
Right.
And she explained the different phases of love and why people stay in abusive relationships and go through certain things and are willing to deal with somebody after they cheat, all type of stuff. And so I feel like it fluctuates too.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I
Love
love
is a
that. I agree.
spectrum.
I agree.
Nah, I agree with you. I think my point was kind of missed because it's not about the people who augment themselves for the better, for the enhancement of themselves and for happiness for themselves. It's ones who are obsessed of changing themselves to fit in a mold outside of who they are, right? Again,
So in those cases, then the surgery ain't gonna fix it either.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
It's never
It's
enough.
never
and
enough,
and
right.
I've ran into women that constantly every 5 to 6 months is going under the knife. You're absolutely right. And it's never perfect enough.
Yeah.
The lips ain't perfect enough.
Yeah.
The butt is not
Not
shaped
perfect.
properly,
Yeah.
right? So they have to go get it redone. The stomach, right? The tummy tuck. They got to get that redone because they're not satisfied with that. So I agree.
And for you to put yourself in that under harm's way to risk your life, because there's so many people. Kanye's moms, she passed away trying to get a liposuction and
Absolutely.
tummy tuck.
Right.
What's his
Do you-
name from
The comedian.
Wildin' Out?
Yeah.
you know.
DC Young
DC
Fly.
Young
Yeah.
Fly,
Yeah, like,
his
so-
baby mama.
So there's a lot of people who risk the chances of death just to change themselves to fit in a mold.
Right.
That's what those are the people I'm talking
well,
about.
if you're changing, your physical appearance to please others, then there is something wrong. There's no self-love there. I kind of agree with you. But if you're doing it to self-fulfill your needs, okay, then I can accept that.
Yeah, again, like you said, it's a spectrum.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a
absolutely.
spectrum because I think about like women, especially in different countries where it's an investment to change their body to how somebody else would like it, because that's how they're going to take care of their families is by using their body. And I think, a lot of women in America are trying to do that too. But to your point, if you're doing it for any other reason than yourself, it's never going to be enough. And I think about psychologist and hypnosis lady named Marissa Peer, and she says the number one epidemic among all human beings is the feeling of I'm not enough. And that's why no matter what I do in my beauty routine every single morning, I make sure to tell myself I am beautiful, I am gorgeous, I am stunning, I am enough. And I don't think about, if I don't have it, I don't need it. That's how I put it. Because that concept of lack will seep through every single area in your life. You'll feel like you don't have enough money, you don't have enough beauty, you don't have enough intelligence, you don't have enough confidence. And it's all a lie. You have more than enough of what you have right now. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. You can make it work with what you got right now, baby. So just affirm while you doing them surgeries, while you putting on that makeup, putting on that hair, whatever it is. I ain't knocking none of it, okay? But while you're doing that, in addition to that, say your beautiful affirmations every single day like it's a I take it like it's a vitamin. And it's so beautiful to see how the world will reflect it back to you. And I did this trick with a friend of mine. I shared this with her because, I go out, I get a lot of attention. I'm like, but it's not even about the appearance. It's the energy. It's the glow.
Correct.
It's the affirmations that I put out.
Correct.
I said, you could do this too. So she said, ooh, stunning. I would love to be seen as stunning. I said, okay, so we're going to affirm we stunning today. And sure enough, I'm sitting down eating dinner with somebody, and this lady from a whole nother table comes over to me. She goes, you are so stunning.
Wow, that's because you put it out.
Because I put it out there. And
law of attraction.
Law of attraction. It comes right back like a boomerang.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
why are you doing the surgery? Are you doing it because you want people to adore you, admire you, and give you compliments? Girl, they can do that for you right now. Just affirm it to be so.
There you have it. There you have it. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Jay-Z and his secret son.
Uh-oh.
All right? And Jamie Foxx finally revealed what almost killed him. We'll be right back.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. What's on your mind today? Make sure you drop us a comment. We are on YouTube at On The Way Up Show, and I love to hear from you. And as I promised, we'll talk back, and we always talk nice. But I'm not alone today. I got special guests in the building. I got the number one co-host in the building. What's up, brothers?
You already know, man. You know the vibe. It's Wednesday.
The vibe is always the vibe. That's what you told me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the vibe is always the vibe. But let's talk about what's going on in Jay-Z's life, man. This man's been on the blogs, in the news. It just seems like, man, right now, man, voodoo. The voodoo done hit the hip-hop world, man.
So just a background story.
You know?
Go ahead, Coach D.
No, go ahead. Tell them the
just
background.
a background story, Rich. Coach D believes that Lil Wayne and his partners went to Haiti to have voodoo witches put a curse on Jay-Z.
Yeah. You think, okay.
Because of the
Super Bowl
situation where he was not invited to do the Super Bowl.
Really?
Is it crazy for me to think that?
Yeah.
Rich?
I mean, it's not off of the charts, you know? But
I like that, brother.
You wouldn't
like
put it past Lil Wayne?
I wouldn't,
They
wouldn't
from
completely
Louisiana,
write it
man.
off,
They
yeah.
from
So
Louisiana.
he don't have to go to Haiti.
Man,
we got our own.
But Louisiana don't got the real woo.
Nah, they don't.
They don't got the real woo. You want the real woo, you gotta take it to the mountains in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to Cartier-Morin. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to Ocap. You gotta go to Port-au-Prince. You know what I'm saying? That's where you're going to find the real woos, bro. And I'm trying to tell you, I believe it because lately, Jay-Z, they just been coming for him. Y'all, I didn't know Jay-Z had a 30-year-old son.
Yeah.
No one knows that.
I didn't know that.
Wait a minute. So is this his third? I'm not third, but because I know before Beyonce, he had kids.
No, he always said he needed having kids.
His
No,
kids.
it was substantiated.
He has always said he has now the rumor mill has always put Jay-Z with a kid, but Jay-Z never accepted it. Never
Absolutely.
Never said it was his kid.
The only one that he has with B, the ones he has with B, that's the one he's claiming.
He claimed them hands
Those
up.
three. I think it's three.
Man,
Right?
you know
There's
what?
three. The twins.
Shout out to the men out there. No matter how you making these babies, when you acknowledge them, I respect that. Keep going.
He said it wasn't his.
He said it wasn't his.
So what if he made somebody mad?
Okay.
and we have another Diddy situation.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming, man. You heard about the 13-year-old. We talked about that yesterday on the radio. You heard about the 13-year-old that just came out, and
She's not 13 now.
she's not 13
She's
now.
saying
She's
when
about
she was
38 years
13.
old. But
Yeah,
when
that's
she was
20 years ago.
13, according to what's on the blog and what we have been reading and reported yesterday here on the Way Up show, is that this 13-year-old is reporting that Jay-Z and Diddy held her down after the VMA award, 25 years ago, allegedly, right? And raped her.
When people, not to say that it didn't happen or that it did happen, but when people put things out there like that, I start thinking about context. And so context is they get past security guards, they get past VMA, the whole VMAs, they get past hotels, they get past all of this stuff, and then come out, because I read piece of it, 24 years later?
Yeah.
24 years later.
That's
Yeah.
kind of wild. It feels like he messed up and somebody's letting some information out or trying to let some information out.
Or could it be someone's looking for a big payday?
Nah. 24 years later, it's not the time for that payday.
Why hold it in for so long?
Exactly.
Because now is the time that everybody's speaking up.
But
So
it-
now they feel permission to do it.
Yeah,
But the Me Too
they made a
movement,
Me
the
Too.
Me Too movement started back in 2019,
Started a while
and it
ago.
was hard. 2020, it was hard body. 2021, people was coming out of the woods. You know what I'm saying? So all skeletons was now out of the closet.
Or you ran.
Why now?
Or you paid to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is, it has to be about money, because
Gotcha.
there's no way you a 13-year-old been violated at 13, went through her 20s, and whatever her life went through, right? And now want to put her hand up. Oh, because it's not like Jay-Z said. If the article's correct, if Jay-Z said yesterday, yo, don't hit me civil. If I did it,
Take me to criminal.
take me to court right
Yeah,
now.
criminal
Lock
court.
me up. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be about the bread. It has to be about money, because there's no way you gonna come out and go to this battle
Yeah.
just to if you're not putting him in jail just to be out. Oh yeah, I got raped now.
Well, you don't think that this is its own independent Me Too type of experience? So
It could be.
the previous Me Too wasn't involving Diddy. It wasn't involving Jay-Z.
But the Me Too movement was all about women who was taken advantage of sexually.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the Me Too movement was about. So if
However, there were certain men at that point in time that were pretty much highlighted for a lot of the recklessness that
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
and a lot of major men in like the news,
And it
the
happened
media
when they were trying to
sector,
do
right?
something else.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think about it. For everything that's coming out about Diddy, none of that came out at that time either.
Right.
Yeah,
It's-
but Diddy made a mistake, and that's what made all the stuff come out about Diddy. And now Jay-Z, we don't know the mistake yet, but
Well,
that's what's
because
coming
Diddy's
out about
going
him, too.
down, a lot of people in his circle are being touched, so
Yeah.
to speak. And Jay-Z happens to be one of
I
those
wouldn't
people.
even think Jay-Z's in Diddy's circle.
circle. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that.
Well, the
different
book
circle.
that came out said that Jay-Z and Diddy used to engage sexually.
Again.
Still circle? I don't know.
Listen, again, this is what I'm saying. Like,
Again, all this is
it's
alleged.
allegedly, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
But again, Diddy, it was always question about who he could have been doing with. He was more of a fluid person,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he had those kind of people around him more so. With Jay, I never heard a story that he was fluid in that space.
Facts.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
not all gay people are personality-wise, quote unquote, gay. There are
no. What I'm saying,
Mhm.
listen, the gaydar flags,
yeah.
right? They would want to have Jay-Z on their side, like, you know, what I'm saying?
100%.
You know
Of
what I'm
course.
saying?
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
Wilton
But-
Manors
but-
would be on fire.
Listen,
What?
Like, Jay-Z's one of us.
Wilton Manors.
They all have
Oh!
wicks right now.
unless Jay-Z was moving in a manner where he wasn't dealing with you, unless you had just as much to lose as he did.
But again, I look at his history. Like, he never seemed like, now he's seen more of the womanizer, Shiesty.
Well, he did the Biggie,
Right,
all of them.
you know what I'm saying? He never seemed like that guy. Now, I'm not saying he is or isn't, but you know when people start talking about Jay-Z's gay, Okay. Nah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that now, but if you bring
It's
up
what?
Shay Shay,
Reaching? Okay.
if you bring up Shay Shay,
Man.
automatically,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
yeah,
Like,
come
like-
on, come on, Shay Shay, like, come on, you're not hiding it hard enough, homie.
Right. Like
You know what I'm saying?
and
Accidentally go live when you gotta press like 5 buttons.
Come on.
Yeah.
Stop
Just to
it.
prove to the world
Stop it.
that you get in the box. You getting in the box right
Come
now.
on. That's what I'm saying. So
Jay Z haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
again,
And he got the baddest chick in the game.
right. And when you add his beefs, right? He had public beefs. And none of people who
Said
beefing
that,
with
none
him,
of that.
because that would have been a shot. Like
Yeah.
Nas would have
Nas would have bodied him with that.
But nobody's ever shot Diddy with being gay either.
Oh no,
Oh
always,
no.
always.
Look at 50 Cent.
Oh,
Always.
well, 50 Cent.
50 Cent said the man offered to take me shopping. and then he approached Fabulous and he was like, "Yo, but you ain't never party with me."
Right.
Right?
Right.
And Fab is looking at him like, "Yo, homie, I was just at your party." But he's like, "Nah,
We
fam,
didn't
we ain't never party."
Oh, man.
Well, listen, as y'all know, I really don't give a. I feel like these are their lives, not mine. I'm trying to make a holistic conversation here, so it's not one sided. So I might play the devil's advocate here, but really, me don't care.
But you know what, man? Jay-Z alleged son, who is now 30 years old, named Ramir.
Ooh, I love that name.
Yeah, his name is Ramir.
That's close to my middle name.
His mother allegedly, had relations with Jay-Z about 31 years ago, and throughout this relationship, he was produced. However,
Okay, that would make sense.
however, Jay-Z has never claimed this young man as his son. Now, his mother passed away at the age of 45, and he explained Jay-Z in a way that the world has not viewed Jay-Z as, right? So he see Jay-Z in a whole different lens, and he's calling him a narcissist. All right, he's calling Jay-Z a fool. He said this guy never accepted responsibility, avoiding paternity for years, and has been nothing but rootless to my mother and I prior to her death. So this is what he reported to radaronline.com if you want to watch the
But
full
is there a paternity test?
interview. Well, he's ignoring it. Jay-Z's ignoring it. So apparently there is a paternity test because he's stating that in his interview. But Jay-Z has...
You mean there's been a request for a paternity test?
Yeah.
He's avoiding the accepting paternity for years. Right, so what does that mean? He knows about it.
He needs to go to
Paternity's there.
ancestry.com.
So Jay-Z, man, if that is your child, all right. What is his first? Blue is his
Ivy.
to the world. Blue is his first baby, right?
Right.
But apparently Ramir's saying, nah, that's not true, man. You introduced Blue, I think back in what 2000? No,
2012 or something like that.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Blue
2013.
Yeah. Cause Blue's like Blue's she's not 15 yet, right?
I believe she is, bro.
Yeah, she's in that space.
She's definitely in that area.
Listen, the funny thing about the Jay-Z situation is like this is not the first time we've heard this. Like
Facts.
again, back to my point earlier, Star, about
I never thought that the other child was dismissed. I missed that part.
Well,
that's how much I follow.
Well, like I was saying earlier about Hove, is like we've heard a lot of things about him, right? We heard he was the deadbeat dad. Hundreds of times. It's not
Even his personality.
Yeah,
And this son really didn't come out and say anything until this whole, alleged rape of a 13-year-old
Well, his mom just
recently
passed
just
away,
came
right?
out. Well, his mom passed away at the age of 45.
And so a lot of times you'll feel more open to speak
pain.
on things that you wouldn't otherwise when people are living. For example, sometimes your story is connected to other people who are not wanting to share their story. So you can't share your whole story. I'm going to just say this personally. For example, I have a brother that we substantiated is my brother this year through Ancestry.com. My dad is no longer living. So that's what I'm saying. If you think that that's your daddy, even if he declines the paternity test, you can go to Ancestry.com. And if anyway, long story short, that's how we substantiated my brother. But his mom would never tell him who his dad was. It was always like, oh, allegedly it's this person. And we think it's, I was raised with him as my cousin for a while. There was a part of the family that felt like he was my uncle's son. And there was another part of my family that felt like, no, that's my dad's son. And long story short, we just got it all cleared out. But in talking to my brother, he had mentioned like his mom really didn't want to go there. It was his mom who didn't really want to share that. So we don't really know what the dynamics were, because obviously she wasn't coming out in public all the time,
Right.
And so maybe that's something she wanted to lay to rest. But now that she's laid to rest, he might feel more empowered
To do it.
to
There's
tell
always
his story.
three sides of a story.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Her side, his side,
And the truth.
Yeah.
I know that's
and
right.
So we don't really know
And
what
listen,
side is what.
It's the same thing with Free. Like you said, people are attached to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Free was attached to Jay-Z for years, right? Free was attached to Jay-Z as his side chick.
He had that thing with Solange in the elevator too.
Right. So Free now for years was blackballed, like diminished, right? She said, I never slept with this dude. But because of attachments, like she got put in this box. You know what I'm saying? So he had to make a song. Why would I mess with Free when I got B? He had to throw her under the bus. So these are the things like what happens in this space. Again, he could have stood up for Free better. I felt like if you didn't smash Free, or Free wasn't a part of the other Becky,
Right.
Becky with the good hair, right? If it wasn't Free, you should have stood up for her. And I think those are the things what kind of puts a demerit on Jay-Z's character. But to say that he's gay, like that's a whole other
reach.
Absolutely.
That's
reach.
far-reaching.
That's far reaching.
Far-reaching.
Okay.
All right, man. Let's move on to Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
Somebody got them gumbo arms. I'm just saying. Them Gumby arms or whatever. What's that, man? They used to stretch out.
Gumby.
Gumby, right?
Yeah. Man, dude, you are showing our age.
word.
I pulled that back, too.
Those
That was way
YouTube-
back there.
YouTube viewers are like, what the hell?
What the hell
Those
is
brown
Gumby?
Jay-Z and Fushnickens. I didn't want to go there.
Okay. But you went there, though.
I
What
did.
you got to say?
Nah, I mean, just he's been grimy like that since then because he was copying other people's style. Das Effects, Fushnickens, Nas. When Nas made Ether, he was like, yo, you bit all our styles. And we did this. Then Big L got knocked off the map, everything. So there's a whole history with him being a scumbag.
Right. Easy.
Easy?
Easy.
Well, guys, Jamie Foxx is opening up, man. He's saying what really almost killed him about a year and a half ago was a bleeding in the brain that caused a stroke. A lot of people was making joke about it, saying he left a Diddy party. And he said, nah, actually, he was joking during the interview, and he said, nah, I actually left the party a lot earlier.
Wasn't it his bodyguard or somebody on his team that came out and said that it could be potentially a Diddy party?
That was a guy that worked for him.
I hope he's not
his
working
security.
for you anymore, Jamie.
No, I don't think so. I think Jamie, I think he mentioned that about 3 weeks, a month ago, where his security guard came out and said, this must have happened. This
Yeah, I didn't
happened at a
like
Diddy
that.
party, right? But
Don't speak for
Jamie
me,
is
okay?
now coming out and he's speaking. He's saying, "No, guys, here's what happened. I had a bleed in my brain. I was experiencing a headache.
that
That's
called
how
an
it started,
aneurysm?
right?
Aneurysm.
Yeah, he was experiencing a headache, something he never experienced before. He popped 2 Tylenol and realized that, after a couple hours, the headache only got worse. His sister realized something was wrong, so he went to the hospital. The first doctor sent him home. All right, and his sister said, "Man, something is wrong. This is not normal." So she decided to take him to a different hospital to get a second opinion on that. And when they did the CAT scan, that's when they found that he was bleeding in his brain and he had a minor stroke.
Wow.
His sister pretty much saved his life. He gives his flower to his sister now, for taking action when it was needed. So that's what really happened to Jamie Foxx. If you ask me personally, I think Jamie got reincarnated. You know what I'm saying?
That's clone Jamie.
He got cloned.
Him and Gucci.
It's science now, bro. It's happening. People are turning into the Highlander, right? They never want to go away. They never want to die. And I honestly think we're seeing the clone version of Jamie.
Well, you good for all these plot twists with Weezy in Haiti
It's not a plot twist.
Summoning voodoo witch doctors.
It's gonna come out.
And now Jamie's been taken over.
It's going to come out eventually. Start and I want you to
and you heard it here first.
Put your money on it. Put your money on it.
Highly Unique Radio.
They already got Black Box on Netflix.
right.
Put your money on it.
Remember they closed.
It's gonna come out.
They closed Tyrone.
Yeah, it's gonna come out. All right. So that's the news for the day.
You think
guys.
Jamie's the first one, or who was first?
Nah. I don't think Jamie's not the. I don't think he's the first one. I think it's been done many times before. Jamie just got. He just joined the party. He left a party early to go to another party.
Cloning
It's
party.
agendas. It's also agendas, especially when it comes to black men. Like even the whole speculation with Tupac. Like Tupac was actually gay.
All right, man.
Y'all heard the mic drop on that one.
Hey, listen, bro.
He went to school for Juilliard's ballet. He became an actor.
Yeah.
In
Bro,
acting,
we know that we know his history, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we know what
And
Tupac
that
was.
character,
But
he
but
became
but
Thug
you
Life.
are mentioning that
You know you stirring up a lot with the cult.
the thug himself, right?
A
The
thug passion.
himself. You calling the man
Life.
gay
Got that
on
thug
a
in life.
national radio
Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
You
because
calling-
he got in that bathtub and took them pictures.
All right, man.
He also got on that show and held dude's hand. His sign.
So
Again, listen.
Jada, call in.
Listen.
We need to know if Pac is gay, Jada.
Listen,
Call in, Jada.
The saddest part about this, right? Once again, the scary thing, the best way to keep black men in a box is to challenge our sexual.
Call us gay, man.
Right now,
Call us gay.
Hit the funny thing. No, hit the
Rich,
funny.
I don't believe Tupac
Hold
was
on.
a dick in a booty
listen,
MFer, bro.
The
Well,
problem,
he might have
the
been.
problem
Are you trying to
is-
say he wasn't a topper? I mean,
the problem is here's the problem, Coach. I cannot say he wasn't.
I
Because,
can't say it
He
either,
was-
man.
right.
Look, I grew up on Tupac, and
because-
Tupac, you really scarred me if that's
No,
true, bro.
hold
now,
on,
Rich, you see, you started this,
no,
right?
listen.
Well, I did.
Here's the reason why I can't. That we gotta get more proof now, right?
Man, now I gotta go erase that thug life on my back, man.
Because one, you're right. If anybody went to Juilliard, I know people go to Juilliard. They are flaming.
So come on. So everybody that go to Juilliard,
No,
Not
no,
everybody.
no. Not everybody.
He
But
has an interview with how his mannerisms and how he enacted himself.
yeah, kid.
He only became thug life after embodying a character.
Yeah, kid. Juice.
That wasn't part of his
His
personality
personality.
before that.
Yeah.
Before that, he was sweet.
Yo, dude. Name.
Sweet.
Name. Yo, listen. I'm just saying.
So
Name men with.
he wasn't selling rocks just to put money in the mailbox.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That don't mean he's not sweet. People sell rocks and still
Yeah.
That
sell.
was my point earlier.
Okay.
Not everybody that's gay has a quote unquote flaming personality.
So that does that explain why he used to tie his hair with the bandana? Because I only saw women to do that,
That
when
was
I
a
was
couple.
growing
That was
up.
one of the reaches too.
You know what I'm saying?
That's one. I give you another reach.
But now the
earring in the
youngsters
nose.
the youngsters are doing
I
it
knew
right
you
now.
was gonna go
right?
there. Don't go there.
The earring
Man,
in the
I
nose.
love to see y'all with
Are
the
you
with the
serious?
earrings in the nose. Don't knock that. Don't make people feel
Earring in the
self-conscious
nose,
about that.
bro.
That's
I
another
love to
one.
see an earring in the
Yo,
ear
can
and
I-
an earring in the nose. Leave
Can
these
I-
men alone.
Can I keep it real though?
Amen.
I don't think a piercing
But back
identify
then-
your manhood.
But
I
back
don't
then
think
it
it does.
did.
It doesn't.
But
because-
now it does not.
Because I look at it back then, look, when I was going to college, man, I got two holes, in my ear, and then one on the top, the cartilage. And then when I got to college and I started playing football my freshman year, and I was like, yo, shit, the women love the ring in the tongue, guys. Oh, guess what I'm doing?
You ain't.
Oh, you was a
I pierced that thing.
Scorpio in full effect.
Worst thing, hey, dude, I've never felt the worst. This was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my
Oh,
life.
man.
I had to sip
Wait a
on
minute.
soup.
So did you do that for other people or did you do that for you?
No.
Self-love?
So I was in college and I was a vulture, right? You know what I'm saying? I was a vulture, so I knew, hey, the ladies like it.
Long story
that
short.
doesn't mean I'm gonna use it, but they gotta see it. They gotta see it to come holler. And when they were hollering, bro, it was crazy.
Come
It was a
on,
woman snatcher, bro.
Come
so
on.
I used to play with it and stick it out my
Oh,
tongue, right?
man.
But you know what I'm saying? I wasn't gay.
You might as well have been a Kappa.
Oh,
It wasn't gay.
Oh, don't put it on the Kappa song. My bad.
Shit.
Well,
You know how they be sticking out their tongue?
I wasn't no Kappa. I was a BSU, brothers and sisters united, right? And I'll tell you, man, all the sisters love that.
You was
ring,
trying to
bro.
unite, huh?
Man, I united all the sisters.
Hey, yo,
All the sisters in Joliet, Illinois, Dubuque, Iowa, they saw that. They
Okay,
saw
so
it.
let me ask you a question. This is kind of well, since you on this topic, it's not random. Did you find that oral sex was better after you got the piercing? Did women respond differently?
So here's the thing. I wasn't into the oral sex thing.
You didn't even use it at all?
No. I just knew that was a woman snatcher. I wasn't into that. I didn't.
Wait, these women that were
experience-
getting snatched, they
Bro,
didn't put you in they snatch
F no.
to see what it feel like?
yo,
F no.
Star. He was the original catfisher.
F no.
Oh man.
Wah,
No.
Original
Look,
catfisher.
I look. So I'm not Jamaican, so I know a lot of Jamaicans say, "Man, don't eat no."
Yeah.
You feel me?
True.
When I got older, I started, getting into that, pleasing a woman in a different way. But in college, man, I was a vulture, man. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Smack it and leave.
Okay, was kissing different? Was you even kissing anybody with this?
I did. That was the
How
way
was
you.
that
That's
one?
the way I got him.
He's going around
That's the way I got it.
kissing chicks.
For all y'all women that got trapped in that scenario, I'm mad at y'all.
Hey man,
y'all should have made them use it.
They already know who they are, man. Look, y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all all fell for it. Dubuque, Iowa, Joliet, Illinois, Des Moines, Iowa. Y'all already know what it
Gonna
was.
make
You know, I
somebody come
actually
out
met
10 years
somebody.
later.
And they could come back 20, 30 years later. Can nobody honestly say that the Doom City friendly monster took advantage
You're
of
gonna
them?
say, take it to court, huh?
Take me to damn court. Criminal court.
So wait, would you ever get your penis pierced?
Whoa.
Oh, now you're going too far. God damn, you're going too
Need a horn or
What you
something.
think,
Damn
man?
it, son.
Do I look like Pee Wee Herman?
Damn it, son. You tripping.
I mean, you doing it for the ladies.
I did do a lot for the ladies in college, and
I
it
ain't.
worked. I had fun in college.
I ain't doing that.
It's one experience that I look. I tell every young man this: if you really want to live life, go to college, live the dorm lifestyle, at least for the first 2 years. Boy, you gonna get so much play.
Now I'm gonna counter that.
All right.
Military.
that part.
See, I ain't never been
Yeah,
there.
When we drop-
military
when we put
is
on them dress
men are-
blues,
You gonna make me
went out in
fuck
the-
around
went
and
out
get
in the
enlisted?
You know,
town.
women love a
Listen,
man in
went
uniform,
out in the
huh?
town. That was it.
Rich, you gonna make me enlisted?
No
Rhyme.
tongue
Tomorrow.
pierce needed, huh?
No tongue pierce needed.
No tongue
Listen,
pierce.
You just needed a
The
uniform,
fit, that
brother.
was all
Nah,
it
man,
was.
I got a belly, fam.
That's fine.
Fuck
that's
the
fine.
uniform.
Yo,
Hey,
but
they
because
got-
of
they
that,
got-
I never
you can
dated a
tailor
man
it.
in military because I seen how them girls was going over the uniforms,
That's so
Crazy.
true, bro.
and I never did it.
That- I be seeing. You know what? You're right. Because when I was
But
growing up,
police officers probably get that too.
Oh, I don't know about
Firemen.
that. I don't know.
No,
about
no,
that.
No,
I'm scared.
not from all women.
no.
But
So,
you know, the privileged women out there, they like a good man who can serve and protect.
I believe him. He's absolutely right. Because growing up, there's a program in school. It's called JROTC.
ROTC, yeah.
ROTC, right? The nerdy kids was getting the, you know what I'm saying? They were getting the real women. They were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get it. Yeah.
But I wanted to be a safety patrol. I wanted to check. Hey, go back and walk.
Top flight. Top flight.
Hey, you were really go back and walk. And I like to watch them walk away. Just walk away. And if they didn't do it, hey, you, John, come back, go back and walk.
You is so crazy. All right, safety patrol with the tongue ring.
Hey, man, that was your local
That's too
news
much
of the
for
day
me.
with the Doom City Friendly Monster. We'll be right back with the culture
Conversations. Good morning, my beautiful people. Welcome to the On the Way Up show, exclusively on Highly Unique Radio, SoFlo. I'm your girl, Takara Star. I got the best co-host in the world with me and a special guest. So this is a super treat today. So let me just say, welcome to Culture Conversations. And in tradition, we're going to start by taking 5 breaths in and 5 breaths out. I'm going to get you, brother.
Yo, it's dude crazy, yo. I love this
What's
dude.
up, man?
Listen, and for all y'all that are just tuning in and wonder why do we do that, we take those 5 breaths in and 5 breaths out to start our day because that is how you can reset and allow yourself to reflect on the conversation that we're about to have today, all right?
Hey.
So let all that stuff in the past remain there and let's focus on the now. And right now, as I said before, we have a special guest in the building. This man is a mindset coach, a podcast owner, a clothing brand owner, a media mogul that's worked with the likes of NFL, Forbes magazine, correct, among many heavy hitters. Very successful man in his own right, but he has an amazing story for us today. And for our culture conversation today, our topic is going to be changing our pain into power so we can find our purpose.
Like that.
And for all those who follow the self-development space, you may or may not have heard of Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard talks about the power of our thoughts and our emotions and how we create our reality from our belief system. And I kind of want to start there because I know that you didn't grow up in this amount of success that you have at this point in time, Rich, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Not at all, right? Not at all, right? And so if you could just share a little bit of your story up until you was ready to commit suicide. Can you talk about that a little bit and what the mindset was at that time?
Whew. Which beginning part are we starting at?
We get heavy. So just for those who are just tuning in, Rich is a New York native. He came to Florida during his college years. But before he got here to Florida, this man had overcome a lot of trials and tribulations. If I understand, you are the one of 3 siblings?
Well, on my mother's side, I have 2 little sisters.
Twins, right?
Yeah, 2 twins.
Okay, shout out to the
And
twins.
on my father's side, I got 18 brothers and sisters. So.
There you go.
God damn.
Yeah.
He ever watch TV?
Nah.
You said
He was
18?
outside, yeah.
Is that even humanely possible?
We got mostly different mothers. I think like 7 or 8 different mothers.
Damn, he sound like my pops, bro.
Yeah, he was outside.
But my dad
Well,
didn't do
is your dad
18 though.
Caribbean?
Yeah, he's Jamaican.
Absolutely.
Jamaican.
Okay, that part.
That part. Here it goes.
So yes, it's very
Those
possible.
Damn Caribbean guys, huh?
Well, I don't know. My dad
Jesus.
was in the running. He was Creole. He wasn't Caribbean. He was Creole.
Your dad Haitian?
No,
French.
Indian, black,
Oh, Creole.
Creole.
Creole. C-R-E-O-L-E.
And I'm one of 11.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like how you speak Creole.
Yeah.
The people at that time was called Creole.
Oh, the
But-
Louisiana folks
yeah,
from Louisiana, they Creole
but apparently
people. Yeah,
there's like
but
a
they're
Haitian
really Haitians.
historic,
They're really
history
Haitians,
to
man.
it.
If you really watch, if you know the history.
Yeah, I'm about to say there is.
them Haitians threw rocks and help us win our, some wars.
But back to you, Rich, and the story about
Back
the
to
war
Rich.
of your life, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we're gonna just say you was the one of many.
Yeah.
Okay, one of many growing up in New York. I understand it was a religious household, correct? Okay, and at some point in time, you and your mom didn't see eye to eye,
Yeah.
and you
so
found yourself homeless. Can we
being a
start there?
child- Being a child, growing up in a life of why and questions will always get you ridiculed. And I don't have any kids right now, but I would like to be the parent when I do have kids that, I want my children to disagree with me. I don't want my child to blindly obey my orders. And why is because we're the first interaction with our kids. And so if we teach them, do what I say, go out there, do this, do that, when somebody else tells them, yo, do this, they're going to follow in suit because what we're building is indoctrination. What we're building is a foundation of the mindset to tell them, hey, if somebody has some type of superiority or age superiority or whatever, school, teacher, whatever, and they put you in a situation where you feel like you got to say yes, you're probably going to say yes, and you're going to make a bad decision. And so with my kid, I want to explain to them like, yo, it's okay to disagree with me because I'm going to tell you why I need you to do this. When I grew up, my parents was like, it don't matter why, just do it. Just listen to me because I said so. That's
So
why.
what were the things that you guys did not agree on?
And so we didn't agree on a lot when it came to religion stuff. So we grew up 7-day Adventists. And that means
I know your plot, homeboy. Your plot, my G.
I know your pain. 7 days Adventist, huh? So Friday night, no TV.
Yup.
Yeah.
No tattoos, no piercings,
No
no
piercing,
going out,
no music.
Yep.
Yeah, no doing none of that
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the hood. It was Brooklyn, New York, and so
So
going
so
outside,
your parents went to the Philadelphia church down there on Flatbush?
they went to Shiloh.
Oh, they went to Shiloh. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know what that's at.
And so growing up there, it was like a spectrum of I got to be a goody two shoes almost, but my entire surroundings was not that.
Right.
And so I'm getting the influence from when I'm outside with my friends, when I'm outside, doing my thing, and then I come back and it's rules, and I'm just like, yo, where's all this coming from? Like, they didn't grow up that way because they were raised more in the Caribbean aspect of it, but I was raised in the hood aspect of it. And so I became a product of my environment. And so I questioned everything. And they didn't like when I questioned it. Because they pushed me away from answering the question, I went to go find it by other means.
And what did that journey lead to?
That journey led to a lot of different routes of me just being bad. I got expelled in 11th grade. My mother no longer knew what to do with me. I slammed the teacher into the locker, and they were like, yeah, this kid is violent. Get him out of here. She signed paperwork for me to do things on my own at 17. I enrolled into Jamaica High School, Queens.
Big shout out to the Lost Boys, Jamaica High
Facts.
School.
I had to make that commute from Brooklyn every morning, 2.5 hours there and back. So a 5-hour commute every day just to go finish 12th grades. I started to mentally check out of the school system. I got gang involved. Somebody that I considered like an older brother. I used to call him my older brother. His name is David Sleek. He got locked up a few times, but he never drank and he never smoked. And so that's what led me to ultimately not drinking and smoking at first. I started drinking later, but I never smoked still in my life. And he used to do all the worst things in the world possible and then tell me, don't do that. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? You doing this? And then, when things started to get more tight, his personality changed. And that's when he took us robbing and he was blood affiliated and all of this and all of that. And I became affiliated with the same thing. So before I even joined the military, I got shot. I got stabbed. And I was outside just fighting the world, fighting people bigger than me, fighting battles that I didn't even know I was mentally dealing with at the time. I was just releasing my anger. My mother kicked me out at 16. She basically had my twin sisters with my stepfather and said, yo, we can't deal with you. We're raising them in this way in the church. I don't want you to be an influence on them in that way. So we're going to move to Atlanta, start over. You figure out what life is since you think you've grown in New York. And she kind of just left me to do my own thing. And at the time, I didn't cry about it. I had already started I got my first cell phone by myself. I got the Razor flip phone. I thought I was big. I had the Nextel bleep, where you at? I was doing it. I got it all by myself. And so I was like, cool, I'll figure it out. And I went to go live with my cousin who trapped. And he eventually just went to jail from trapping. And so the landlord was like, yo, I know the situation. I know what it is. As long as you can pay whatever he was paying, you can stay here. I don't care about none of that paperwork or whatever. But the moment you can't pay, you got to go. And so I lasted about 3 months by myself. And then I had to go. So I went back to an old friend who I got kicked out that school from. His mom was gone at that point because his father definitely did some trauma to their family, got him into some situations, and his mom dipped. And he's like, yo, while my mom's not here, we got a crib. You can stay as long as you need, but when she come back, I don't know, she might kick you out. So don't feel like it's, indefinite, but you can stay for at least 2-3 weeks. She'll be back. Push came to shove, she never came back. And a year, 2 years passed by. We tried to keep the house up with doing our little methods of things. We went out, we robbed stuff, we robbed the mall, we robbed houses, we robbed people. We ate free fries from Buffalo Wild Wings. We ate eggs. He worked at GameStop. He was the most innocent out of all of us. He tried to keep us like cultured and together and not on that side of the lifestyle, but we did what we had to do anyway. When we had, I had my first gun at 15, and it was one of those that didn't have the safety, so we had to put the rubber band on the hammer to pull it back so that it don't just randomly go off at a drop or something.
Yeah.
And so, learning all of that at a young age it just put me in a different mindset of survival. And so I already became older than my years. And when I approach people, I had a nice demeanor because I had to put on two sides of the family. My dad was present, but not really present. This is the Caribbean man where my mom had talked down about him so many times in my life. All of my brothers and sisters, their moms did the same thing. They had a group chat. I don't know what they had, but we all felt the same way. And he didn't subscribe to it. And he was like, yo, believe whatever y'all want to believe. If you want to come, see me, I'm here. And he never disappeared, but he wasn't the type of dad that's going to come to your sports game. He's not going to show up. He's not going to tell you, I love you at first. He's not going to do none of that. It was tough love, and we knew where to find him. Whenever we would go over there, we'd have to clean the same spot of the house every morning or get beat. If it was dirty, if their spot was dirty, we were still getting beat. Something broke, we all got beat. Somebody lost a fight, we all got beat. Everything. You couldn't come back to the crib. And so learning that from his side, but also the politeness and the gentlemanness from his side, because that's the Caribbean culture. Yo, this auntie, this uncle, you can't address them as nothing else. You got to walk in, say
Manners.
good morning, good night. Oh, you walk into the room, you want them to say it to you first? Like, nah, that's not what it is. So when I would be around adults, I'd be like a shining star. People would be like, oh, he's so innocent, he's this and that. And I'm on the back end trying to survive doing what I got to do. So it was like my perfect decoy. And then eventually a friend approached me after I'd been doing it for a while now, and he was like, yo, the route that you're going, you either going to go to jail or you're going to die. And so I just joined the Marine Corps. I can get you a $3,000 bonus. Come to the Marine Corps, change your life, do whatever you got to do, just get out the hood. This is a way out for you.
So let me bookmark that real quick, because I understand before you made that decision, something was going on because you attempted suicide, correct?
Yeah.
So for all of our listeners out there who might be in similar situations, right, we have a pretty large demographic. And as parents, I understand the philosophy, oh, your child want to be grown, okay, figure it out. But as a kid, that feels like abandonment, I imagine, right? And you're out here in this big old world trying to figure it out. So can you talk to us a little bit about the mindset that you had at that time, the things that you were internally processing that led you to the top of the 3-story building? Can you take us there?
So 3-story building, just a house. It wasn't like a building.
Okay,
But,
okay.
Yeah, just one day, because eventually us trying to keep it up with the little robberies that we did and his little GameStop job that was only seasonal, so he ended up getting laid off from that too. Like, it wasn't going to uphold a rent. It wasn't going to uphold the electricity bills, the water. And so eventually everything just cut off. People came, boarded it up. We ripped the boards down, broke the window, went through it. Winter came, we patched it up. It was cold, it was brick, no heat. And so we basically had to just move on a type of time where it was like, damn, we got a roof over our head, but that's really it. Like, we can't even.
So you're
boil
living in
water.
an abandoned building,
Yeah,
basically.
living
Well,
in an
abandoned house. Yeah, at this point,
And, we had no electricity, no hot water, no nothing like that. And friends still came over and vibed with us every now and then. And so it didn't feel as isolated as it could have felt.
Right.
Because we were still involved on like a community friend level. And so when it got too unbearable some nights, we'd go sleep over this friend's house or go mess with this shorty and go, sneak in her room at night or do something like that. And we would vibe out that way. But we did that for 2 years. And over doing that for 2 years, eventually I just got tired. And I climbed on the roof and I jumped.
So at that point in time, did you feel like this was all there was to life? Did you not see a future for yourself? I just want to understand the mindset at that time.
I didn't feel like that was all there was to life, but I also wasn't presented anything different. And so my environment became my life. And because that became my life, I'm like, man, I got to work so hard every day just to survive or just to make it on scraps. Like, I'm not even doing anything crazy. I'm not really living. And I see people and how their mothers treat them when their mothers will let us sleep over. And it's not a point where I should have had envy because they letting me sleep over, but it still bred envy in me because I'm like, damn, why his mom love him like that? And why my mom couldn't do that for me? Why my family couldn't do that for me? And I started to like low-key hate them, even though they were helping me out in those situations. And that was something that I couldn't control. And I'm like, man, I don't want to feel this way towards people that actually care about me or are actually looking for me. And so I when I climbed on the roof, I was like, Well, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I've always been an impulsive person. If I make a decision to do something, I just do it. And so as I got up there, I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and contemplate it. Like I'm gonna just jump. And so I jumped. But when I jumped,
Hold on, brother. I'm going to stop you right there. Don't tell the rest. When we come back, we're going to hear what happened after he jumped and how he was able to transform that pain into power, which eventually led to your purpose. So don't go too far. You're on the Way Up show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Shout out to all those who are listening through the highly unique SoFlo app. We really appreciate you. We love you. And we promise to bring the gems, the keys, and all the sauce every single morning. Welcome back, everyone. This is the On the Way Up show. Special guest in the building.
Big Rich.
We in Culture Conversations talking
Yes.
about turning pain into power. And if you're just tuning in, we are at the top of a 3-story house, ready to end it all. Is that right, brother?
absolutely.
So we're talking with Rich today. He's sharing his life, mindset coach, podcast owner, right? Attractive mindset,
Yep.
clothing brand owner. We haven't even got to that because at this point in the game, we ready to let it all go.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I was still Darian. I wasn't even rich yet. And so Darian had a lot of troubles. Darian had a lot of disconnected issues where I wasn't in a communicating phase. Like there was nothing somebody could tell me about changing who I was necessarily that would influence me to actually do it because my life would still be the same day to day. And so I'm on the roof and I'm like, man, if this is what I got to deal with day to day and I got to scratch and climb my way out of it, I don't want to deal with it. So when I jumped off the roof, there's this they had this above ground pool and I jumped backwards because I was like, I don't want to see it. And so I jumped backwards
Okay.
and I launched myself. And when I launched myself, I hit piece of the pool and it was weird. And this is why, again, growing up in the church, divine time and divine, specialty. And I still kept that part with me because what I think happened, if I wanted to put it in a scientific way, was the pool thing bended, which broke my fall. But if I put it in a divine way, God bent it to break my fall because I hit that and then I hit the floor and I bounced twice and I literally felt zero pain. It wasn't I got to get up slow or anything like that. And it's a big jump. And so I'm like, man.
Was it a diving board that you fell on? What
Nah.
exactly did you hit on? What part of the pool?
Like the above ground pool is like this big round pool, and I
Yeah.
just hit like
Oh, okay.
the side.
The
Got
corner,
it.
the
Okay.
edges.
Yeah,
the
and there's
edges.
a round.
What
it's
was
rounded.
the pool made of?
It was made of like metal, but the top frame was like plastic.
Plastic.
Okay.
That's how they're made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you talking about just those portable
Yeah,
pools.
Those portable pools.
Right.
Got
That,
it.
you put up
Okay.
there.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it like bent inward, and that broke my fall. But even when I hit the regular floor, because this is like 6 feet off the ground, I didn't feel anything.
I mean,
either way.
Rich, in that moment, what were you really experiencing? What were you thinking? I mean, before you took that leap, what was your mindset? Where were you as a person?
As a person, I felt like, nobody would really remember me anyway. And so it didn't matter if I was there or not. And so that was my last thought before jumping. Like, would my parents even know I was gone? And how would they figure it out? Because I didn't have contact with them. I wasn't in line with them. The only people would know is the people that I was in the house with. And they didn't know how to really contact my peoples. I didn't know how to contact my peoples properly. So it was one of those things where I was like, man, I don't feel like I would leave a staple in the world anyway. So why be here?
Pretty much felt lonely in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt lonely. I felt alone. I felt abandoned more than anything because they made sure I wasn't alone, but they were all abandoned also. So
Oh, your friends that
we bonded through trauma.
Yeah.
So
connected with.
after your fall, you felt no pain.
Yeah.
Walk us through what was that process. I mean, what was your thought process after that?
My thought process was swift. It wasn't a process like, man, what just happened? My thought process immediately took me back to words that my grandmother always used to tell me, keep God in your life. And that was my thought process, was like, God don't want me to die yet.
I was just about to ask, where was God in the midst of all of this for you?
God was there, but in dealing with some of the things that I dealt with, it made me start to question certain things, because it's like, why would God put me through this? Like, yeah, I may not have grown up the best and I got into fights in school, but why would my mother really leave me like that? And she comes from the church. You know, these are people that come from these roots, and they're quick to just throw me to the wolves. And so that's what started to disconnect me from, like, man, I don't know how much I believe it is, because even when I went to church, like, a lot of the people I would see judging other people, committing acts that's not Bible-like, you know, doing a bunch of things, smoking on the side and all of this stuff. Pastors' kids wilding out.
Yeah, it's
And
funny.
I'm like,
It's
man.
funny you say that, Rich, because I actually shared that here on the air, that, you know, I witness folks, you know, who, you know, are Bible pushers, right? The word pushers. But, you know, their actions were never in alignment with what the, you know, Bible says, right? So I became very
Skeptical.
it wasn't even skeptical. It was like I was against
Yeah.
the Bible. You know,
Okay.
I was against those Bible pushers. Why? Because I'm like, man, you guys are hypocrites.
Exactly.
Right? You're living two life in the church. It's like, Holy Ghost, I got it.
Holy Ghost.
Right? I got it. Ooh, right? And then as soon as you hop in the cars, you hearing all these stupid little motherfuckers. You feel me? And it's like, whoa, you were just
Filled with the
you
Holy
just
Spirit.
felt with the Holy Spirit. What's up with that?
Yeah.
It left that fast from when we
Exactly.
walked out of church. I mean, man, when I listen to your story, it really resonate with me, because I grew up in a home where my mom was hard. She was tough. You know, it wasn't until recently my mom said she loved me at the age of 42,
Wow.
turning 43. You know, so I've never heard that my entire life growing up with her. But she's hardcore Caribbean. You know, and she believes in tough love, and that's what these Caribbean they grew up that way. Unfortunately, you know, their parents didn't show them any love, you know, growing up, so they feel, you know, the way to raise our kid, especially if they're men, is we got to show them tough love.
And that's the unique part of why I felt so abandoned, because my mother said all of that. My mother had raised me as the single child until she married my stepfather when I was 9. And she made it a point, because she saw the route at a young age I was taking when we were in Brooklyn, moved us out to Long Island, Bay Shore. And in her doing that, she didn't listen to hip hop music. She was R&B, gospel, pop, you know, musical. She liked acting and stuff like that. So she tried to put me in a different element. I became Lion King on Broadway runner-up. I became this model thing runner-up, Oliver Twist, Little Shop of Horrors, doing all of that stuff, musical stuff. And so it changed my personality to more chameleon-like at first, because it was like, yo, I vibe with a whole different demographic now, but I also vibe with the hood. And my stepfather taught me my first hip-hop song ever in that household was Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down, Brand Nubian, because I was crossing the overpass, and like 5 kids came up the side of the overpass and they beat me up. I came home crying, snotty nose, bloody lip, all of that stuff. And the first question he asked me was like, "Did you die?" And I'm like, "What you mean, did I die? I'm here right now."
I'm talking to you, right?
And so he was like, "They just wanted to check your jaw strength a little bit."
Wow.
And I feel like that low-key started my villain era, because I checked everybody's jaw strength after that. But, you know, that taught me to take life with a certain grain of salt. And, you know, she was the serenity in that life, but he was also you got to keep it real and you got to stand 10 toes.
Right.
And so, you know, with her teaching me that lifestyle, she gave me the I love you. She gave me the presence. It wasn't until she had my twin sisters with him where I started to feel a little resentment, because after that, things changed on a drop of a dime. And it was the do whatever you want. You're not going to listen to me anyway.
Right.
Go do this. Just be back by dinner. Just do whatever.
Right.
And it became more of a
Separation.
exactly.
Got
and
it.
then it got to the point where I got expelled, and she was like, "Look, we don't want to deal with this. We're going to Atlanta. What are you going to do to figure this out in New York?"
Now, fast forward now, today. How's your relationship with your parents?
Well, my relationship with my mom doesn't exist. And so fast forward into that, you know, I did grow over time. You know, after I did the jump and my friend invited me to the military, I did choose the military, and I said, okay, you know what? I'll take it because I got nothing else to lose, literally. So I'm willing to do whatever. And I didn't think combat at the time because I didn't really know what the military was. I just knew, hey, he offered me $3,000. I said, can I get it instantly? He said, as long as you sign up, you could do it. And so I said, okay, cool, I'm gonna do that. And so when I went to go do that, basically he was like, hey, if you want that $3,000 bonus, we're only giving it to people who sign up for a combat MOS. And I was like, what does that mean? He was like, you're gonna get deployed. And so I had 3 options. I could choose artillery, I could choose tanks, or I could choose AMV. And so I chose tanks. I was like, oh, I like the idea of blowing stuff up. I'm inside the tank. I'm protected inside the tank. They can't reach me like that. Like, that's my best option out of all of them. And so I chose tanks. My first year in, the same guy who invited me in died. And when he died, I felt abandoned again because I'm like, man, here go this guy that just invited me to the Marine Corps, and he just left. And it felt a little selfish to think that way, but it was like, man, my mom just dipped. You know, my friends would find their girls to go over their house when we was in the little abandoned house and stuff, so they dipped. You know, and then this guy invited me here and was like, oh, we're going to make it together. We're going to climb the ranks. We're going to take over this. And we're going to be 2 examples getting out the hood. And then he dipped. And I'm like, damn, it's just me now.
Felt alone again.
And so instead of taking it like how I normally would take it, seeing the culture, you know, going through boot camp, like them yelling in my face, them saying, you're not on the block, Richardson. Like, you're not this and that again. Like, they was beating my ass on the block. Like I was back there and I had no control over it. That's the first time in my life somebody made me let go of control. And I chose to trust it.
That's powerful.
Yeah, that is. Now, would you say going through the experience of enrolling into the Marine Corps, did that set some type of, discipline in your life to fast forward today to make you the man that you are today?
Absolutely, because I had to take care of other people other than myself. And in me doing that, I became a figure that people looked up to. I've never had anybody look up to me before that. I never had anybody ask me questions before that. I never had anybody that relied on me before that. I couldn't do solo activities in a unit. And so me being a part of the unit, I'm like, man, I want to be valuable. These people accepted me already. I want to be valuable to the team. So I was the guy that studied the tank book, made sure I know the manual, know how to turn certain knobs, doing this, doing that. I became top shotgunner, got my name on the plaque in the office, shot battalion high, went on 2 deployments, did a lot of things over there, came back with accolades, got 6, 7 awards. I said, you know what, I'll do it for myself and I'll do it for my boy because this is what he really wanted. And so I'll live vicariously through him, but he'll live through me as well. And I became a different person. And on my last deployment, you know, deployments are 7.5 months, you know, everybody else was getting girls or beer tents or, you know, plotting the cars that they're going to buy after. And I was like, nah, I was homeless before I came here. Like, I got about a year left after this. I'm about to get out and I don't have a game plan. Like, all I did was blow stuff up and shoot stuff while I was in here. I didn't come in here and get a skill like being an electrician or stuff. And so I got scared again. In me getting scared, you know, I chose to follow the acronym FACE EVERYTHING and RISE instead of FEAR EVERYTHING and RUN. And I read 40 books on that deployment. That's the only money that I spent on the electronic device that they give you. I read those 40 books. It was 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, 1 day off. And I read those books. When I came back, I stacked all the money that I had from deployment, didn't buy a car, didn't do any of that. I got out the military, followed a chick back to Florida, got over here, invested that money into a company, following one of the books that I read. You know, that company ended up later on turning into a residual income. I gave them about.
What's the name of the book you read?
Yeah, I was
The book
about
I
to
read
ask.
was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we all read that book. I actually did a live this morning on my TikTok talking about Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and running the rat race. You know, that's you know, a lifestyle that I believe a lot of black men in our community are stuck in, right? We're in that hamster wheel and it just keep going in circle, but we never end up going anywhere, right? Yeah. And I think by when I read that book, that's actually what changed my life as well, because of just seeing that, you know, most of what Robert mentioned in that book was pretty much the lifestyle that I was living, right? And every day we woke up, we did the same thing and expect a different outcome, and that's when I started reading more and more books. The 40
Power.
Yeah.
what is it called?
48 Laws of
48
Power.
Laws of Power, right? I started reading that book, and that's when I learned, like, we need to make a change.
Yeah.
We need to make a change. So
Absolutely. Making that change is that was the start of the process, because I had to undergo another change even after that to develop the mindset. I developed somewhat of the skill set from those books, because knowledge is only true knowledge when it's applied. So I can read all the
Absolutely.
books in the world, but if I don't actually do it, I'm like, man, I can't sit on this bread. I'm going to take a leap of faith. I invested the money. I didn't see any returns at first. Later on, that would turn into anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 residual a month. And, in that process, the only person from my family that kept in contact with me was my grandmother, and she had passed away after me being on deployment, doing a bunch of stuff over there, leaving the military, trying to transition back into everyday life. I had PTSD. I ended up in the psych ward. I tried to fight everybody in the psych ward multiple times, putting holes in the wall. So they extended Baker acted me. So I was there for a month and a half. And, once I got out, I'm like, man, I don't have nobody out here in the state of Florida. I don't got no friends. I don't know nobody. And so I turned to the strip club. And the strip club was Cheetahs. And I would go in Cheetahs. I'd buy all the drinks. Everybody was my friend at the bar. I paid for everybody's drinks, paid all the dancers, did all of that, ran my credit cards up, went into like $50,000, $60,000 worth of debt after I just worked to get it up. And I was like, man, I just dug my own hole again.
So even after reading the books, you still were seeking a sense of family and connection.
Yeah, because after reading the books gave me knowledge on applicational things. They didn't give me knowledge on mindset and lifestyle. I didn't read it for psychology. And it was them saying, yo, you can make money by just going to school using your GI Bill. I went for an arts degree. One of my electives in that arts degree was a psychology class, and that lady spit some game to me I never heard and made me think in ways I never thought. And that started my whole psychology journey. And so I went for a psychology major after that, and another major. I went for a double major so I could get paid more. I went for a psychology major and an arts major, because what she said basically is you got to control the media if you want to have proper representation for yourself and show yourself in a different type of light. And so I was like, okay, cool, that's what I want to do. So fast forward and all of that, I met Dan, who you met already. We started a company.
Now,
just
Dan
me
is
and
your
him.
business partner and engineer, correct?
So Dan is definitely,
Extraordinaire.
Dan is my first contractor ever, but from a mindset perspective, I always want them to think higher than themselves. So I tell everybody, like, no matter if I hired you or whatnot, you're a partner. You can tell people you own this company, because that's how I want you to feel, that this is yours. This is not a rich thing. If Rich goes away, which is highly possible, we live in a very volatile world where mass shootings happen, stuff happens at the mall, car accidents, drunk drivers, all of that stuff. I said, I want you to be able to continue and pick up wherever we left off. Nothing changes. So I make everybody an owner.
I love that. But I'm going to just speak life into you right now, brother. You're not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, not at all.
Because your story is very powerful, and there's several people out here in the world that need to hear it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So for the listeners that don't know more about Rich, what is it that Rich, what's your business about? If you can talk a little bit more about what is it that you do. So, if the listeners are looking for your service, how can they find you?
So we have two main businesses right now. The first one is ROV Productions, the one that I made with Dan. We have about 54 members in about 6 or 7 different states now, and we do photography and videography of everything. So we have different specialties, which is why we have so many members. Some people focus on weddings, some people focus on events, music videos, portraits, feature films, all of that type of stuff. We have it. That enabled us to work with NFL, Hard Rock Stadium, Morgan Freeman, Emilio Estefan, Rolling Loud, all of these branches, 100 Black Men of America, Black National Farmers Association, all of that. I always tried to give back to Black organizations just because that's kinfolk. So that's what we do with that. And then the second company is Attractive Mindset. So Attractive Mindset is more so my my version of how I want to give back my karma, because I did a lot of pain to my community. I was robbing them. I was running in houses. I was catching people on the side of the street. I was doing a lot of stuff, and I was lost. And so, you know, my version of giving back is being able to articulate how I was wrong and how we can come together, and we don't have to be where we started, you know, how we got to where we are today. So, you know, that was all 6 years ago, and, you know, we've proudly been able to make $10 million since then. And so life has changed dramatically from me being in an abandoned house to, you know, working with some of the biggest names and becoming a big name myself.
That's big. That's big.
And where can
they find you?
They can find us at Real Money Bag Rich if you want to hear my story some more, and all my links in the bio link to Attractive Mindset and ROV.
That's what's up, man. There you guys have it, man. Rich.
Yo, this has been a powerful, powerful show. I'm honored to meet you, my brother. Yo, you are a story to be told. And I know you probably got a book sometime coming up. Some kind of motivational situation coming out. And, you know, we support your campaign here. And we neighbors, so you can pull
Absolutely.
up anytime. We should come to your podcast.
Likewise, come through.
Come to your podcast and turn up
Absolutely.
and live with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Yo, what we got going on for the rest of the week? We got more interviews?
Yeah, absolutely. We have an interview every single day of the week, so you want to make sure that you tune in. If you like what you heard today, we got more gems for you. So
It's a bonus week.
it's a bonus.
Right before the holiday, we hitting them with nothing but gems.
Look, we're going to make sure you end this year right.
Facts.
Holla.
All right?
We
Facts.
outside, man. We're doing it big.
Hey,
Check
we
us.
out, man. You're listening to the On the Way Up show. We'll see you tomorrow morning.